Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Asher here with Equity Essentials. Today we're going to tackle the most asked question that I get as a loan officer. How much house can I afford? How to determine how much you can afford is crucial when you're looking at buying that first home or that first investment home. So stick around, let's take a look, and I'm going to show you how to do this with nothing more than a pen and a paper and the cell phone you've got in your pocket. So first things first, we need to figure out how much money do you make every single month. So if you're on a salary and let's say you make $60,000 a year, 12 months in a year, divide 60,000 by 12, that gives you a monthly income of $5,000. Well, what if you're hourly? How can I figure out my income then? Well, let me show you a quick tip. Take your hourly amount, double it, add a few zeros, and that's your annual amount. For example, let's say you make $15 an hour. Doubling that gets you $30. Add a few zeros, you roughly make $30,000 a year. Now let's do another example. You make $35 an hour. Double it to get 70. Add a few zeros, that gives you a rough estimate of $70,000 a year. This is a conservative estimate, but remember, I'm just trying to give you a rough guide of how you can figure out what you can afford. If you want exact numbers, your best bet is to consult a loan officer like myself. And if you're self-employed, you file a Schedule C every year, or you run your own business, just take how much you showed as profit for the previous year, and we're going to use that as a rough guide. Now keep in mind, self-employed borrowers and those that run their own business, your income will be based on what you report to the IRS on your tax returns, typically over the previous 2 years. There are some deductions we can add back, like mileage, amortization, casualty loss, etc., but there's quite a few we can't. So if you're self-employed and want an accurate income analysis, reach out to a loan officer. We'll be more than happy to help you. So now that we got your annual income squared away, remember, let's get it down to the monthly income. Well, why do we need the monthly income? Because that's what the bank cares about. They care about how much money is being made by you every single month. And typically, on a per month basis, they don't want you spending more than half of your income every single month towards any sort of debt. But this includes student loans, car payments, child support, any other liability that you might have, including this new house you're trying to afford. Remember, every situation is a little different. I'm giving you an example, hopefully to help guide you in figuring this out on your own. So going back to our example, if we make $5,000 a month, half of that is $2,500 a month. Suppose you have $150 you pay every month on student loans, a $300 car payment, and $50 a month in credit card payments. Even if you pay your credit card off every single month, you will be held towards the minimum monthly payment for that card. Remember, I'm trying to be conservative with these numbers, so $50 per card that you have is a good baseline. In this case, we only have one credit card, so $50 is what we're going to account for this example. So now let's subtract it. $2,500, that's our total debt we're allowed to pay, minus $150, minus $300, minus $50. That leaves us with $2,000 for the maximum mortgage payment you can afford for this example. Keep in mind, this not only includes just the principal and interest payment, but your insurance, the property taxes, any PMI, private mortgage insurance that you might have to pay on the home, as well as HOA or even solar. If you're buying a house with solar panels, excellent, but that's going to be a factor if those solar panels are leased. So just to recap, we first found your annual salary. We used that to get the monthly salary. From there, we figured out how much a month we can spend on all of our debts, including the mortgage payment. We took away any debts we may owe on a monthly basis. And now we are left with what can our total mortgage payment be? The numbers I'm using can vary from state to state, but what we need to do next is essentially remove the rest of the fees that we just talked about that are also included in your monthly mortgage payment to find out what is that principal and interest that we can afford. Since I'm located in Maricopa County, Arizona, that's what my example is going to be based off of. Remember, your numbers are going to be different. So if we're talking about a $2,000 a month total mortgage payment, we can estimate that property taxes, remember for Maricopa County, should be roughly around $170 a month. Insurance costs for a property that is in that range, you're looking at about $100 a month. Now, not every property in Maricopa County has an HOA, so I always like to account for a $50 a month HOA payment just to be safe. So now, if we take those costs away from the $2,000 a month mortgage payment we could afford, that leaves us with $1,680 that we can now spend on principal and interest. So now what do we do with that $1,680 a month that we know we can afford? It's pretty easy, let me show you. First, put that pen and paper away and pull out your phone. So now with your phone out, I'm gonna show you how you can do this all by yourself. So the first thing you wanna do is open up your web browser. I'm using Chrome, doesn't matter what you choose, the steps are all the same. The first thing I wanna figure out is, what's the average rate in the area I'm looking for? Once again, I'm dealing with Maricopa County. So I'm gonna go ahead and type here, average mortgage rate, Arizona, Maricopa County, and it tells me that for a 30-year fixed, I've got a 6.69% at the time of recording this video. So how do we figure out what $1,680 can afford? It's pretty easy, and I'm gonna show you how. Go back to your browser, type in mortgagecalculator.net and hit go. Mine defaulted to $200,000. Let's just start there. We're gonna figure this out together. Amortization and interest. We're not gonna go into detail what that means, but just put 30 years for both. We're dealing typically with fixed, so change that to fixed. For the interest rate, put that 6.7%. For the start date, you can ignore that and hit calculate now. Right here, it tells you your monthly payments are $1,290.56. Remember, we've got $1,680 that we need to stay under, so we've got more room. Let's bump it up to $250 and see how that changes things. Scroll up a little bit, hit adjust your calculation. Everything should still be saved. We're gonna go ahead and type $250,000 now. We're gonna hit calculate now once more. So once we adjusted it for $250,000, as you can see, our monthly payment went up to $1,613 every single month. But that's still under where we need to be, and we've got a little more wiggle room. Let's bump it up by $10,000 more and see what happens. Hit adjust your calculation, update it to $260, hit calculate now, and right there we're up to $1,677. That's pretty close to our goal of $1,680, so we're gonna stop right there. So in under 10 minutes, you were able to figure out your income, what the bank cares about in terms of your debt and how much you're gonna pay, how much mortgage payment you can afford, and what does that mean in terms of loan size. And so for this scenario, we know we can afford a loan of about $260,000. Now remember, this is a very rough way for you to figure out how much you can afford when it comes to buying a house. But it's a great starting point. If you want accurate numbers, reach out to me or another loan officer that you trust. We're happy to help. This is our job, and we want to make sure you have the most accurate information possible to go get that dream home of yours. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll answer them, or maybe I'll even make a video about them in the future. See you all next time.